You think the dynasty is secure? Think again. Because what I'm about to unveil will rattle your confidence in the kingdom to its foundation. This isn't just about a Super Bowl loss. It's about the storm that's coming next. And if you think this offseason's been quiet, then you haven't been paying attention. Something's brewing in Kansas City, and if red and gold run through your veins, buckle up. Stick around till the end. Like if you still believe in the Chiefs, drop a W if you're riding with Mahomes, or an L if your faith is fading. And smash that subscribe button if you're truly kingdom. Let's get into it. No sugarcoating. When you fall short on the grandest stage, everything shifts. And that's exactly what happened to the Kansas City Chiefs after that gut-wrenching defeat to the Philadelphia Eagles. You'd think the team that's owned the league over the past few years would attack this offseason with fury. But what did we get? Radio silence. A few minor tremors, but nothing that screams urgency. Nothing that makes the league sit up and say, oh, hell, they're coming back with blood in their eye. Now, I get it. Some of y'all are saying, we've got Patrick Mahomes. We've got Travis Kelce. We've got Andy Reid. And yeah, that's fair. But here's the truth. The rest of the NFL isn't standing still. They're studying every move the Chiefs make. They've got the blueprint, and they're arming themselves to exploit it. You don't dominate the NFL like the Chiefs have without becoming the target. And now, the Wolves are closing in. The AFC is stacked. Bengals, Bills, Ravens, all gunning for the throne. And while the Chiefs may still be sitting at the top, that grip is slipping. You know what separates a dynasty from a one-hit wonder? Consistency. And to stay consistent, you have to evolve. What worked yesterday might get you exposed tomorrow. Let's talk cold, hard football. Offense. Look, I love Mahomes. He's once in a generation, but even the greatest can't do it solo. Last season, let's be honest, the weapons weren't clicking. Wide receivers? Inconsistent. Run game? Erratic. And when your entire offense leans that heavy on Kelce, a warrior who's closer to the twilight than the dawn, it's time to start building for what's next. And that's where the whispers are turning into roars. People are starting to ask, who's stepping up? Who's being brought in? Ian Van Roy from Pro Football Network just lit a spark with his latest takes, and I'm about to throw gasoline on it. First name up, Gabe Davis. Before you roll your eyes, listen. He's 26, still young, still brimming with potential. Yes, injuries slowed him down, but in 2023, he dropped 746 yards and 7 touchdowns. That doesn't just happen. You don't forget how to ball. And here's the strategic kicker. Davis is coming from Buffalo. That's intel. That's inside access to one of the Chiefs' biggest AFC rivals. You don't just get a receiver. You get a spy, a schematic asset against Josh Allen and the Bills. Now, don't get it twisted. Davis isn't Tyreek Hill. He's not walking in to save the kingdom, but he's a vital piece in a puzzle that needs solving, because you can't go another season relying solely on Kelce. What happens if Father Time finally taps him on the shoulder? You need depth, contingency, options. Next name, Keenan Allen. I know what you're thinking. He's washed. He's done. Maybe, but maybe not. Let's break it down. His last season with the Bears, 744 yards, 7 touchdowns, while catching passes from rookie QB Caleb Williams in a crowded WR room. That's production under pressure. Allen knows the AFC West inside out. He's battled the Broncos, Raiders, Chargers for years. You plug him into this Chiefs offense, and suddenly Mahomes has a veteran assassin with surgical route running and reliable hands-on third down. That's security. That's firepower. And playing with Mahomes, that might just put new fuel in Allen's tank. But this isn't just about adding 2 names. This is about mentality. Are the Chiefs still hungry? Do they still have the fire? Because if you're standing still in this league, You're falling behind. The NFL waits for no one. One dormant offseason leads to one disappointing season, and before you know it, you're watching the playoffs from your couch. Let's go deeper. Travis Kelce. There's chatter this might be his final ride, his last dance. If that's true, you go all in. No hesitation, no soft rebuild. You load up for war. You give Mahomes the arsenal he deserves. You give Kelce a send-off that cements his legend. This isn't just another season. This is a legacy mission. Van Roy said it best. Hope isn't a strategy. Execution is. Aggression is. Preparation is. The window is still cracked open, but it won't be for long. The AFC is a minefield. Oh, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, Trevor Lawrence, CJ Stroud, killers everywhere. And you can't just ask Mahomes to drag a depleted roster up the mountain again. You build, you strategize, you strike. The time is now. Even superheroes need a squad. So what's the move? Do the Chiefs play it safe, banking on internal growth, praying draft picks pan out and hoping the injury gods show mercy? Or do they swing for the fences, bringing in seasoned vets who can contribute immediately and shift the balance of power? Because let me tell you, if Kansas City doesn't make those moves, someone else will. And come playoff time, they'll feel the consequences. This isn't just about Gabe Davis or Keenan Allen. The entire market is brimming with opportunity. Hungry veterans, undervalued young talent, trade chips just waiting to be played. The Chiefs need to flip over every stone, dig into every option, and treat this offseason not just as a patch job, but as a declaration, a war cry. We're not finished, we're reloading. Let's be real. Every team that's beat the Chiefs lately followed the same blueprint. Collapse the pocket, disrupt Mahomes' rhythm, exploit the secondary. If Kansas City isn't constructing an offense that punishes teams for trying that, they're setting themselves up for another heartbreak. It's not enough to have Mahomes. You need weapons. You need trust. You need that swagger, that gritty, unshakable edge that says, you may have got us last time, but you won't get us again. The Eagles exposed something in the Super Bowl. They showed that even the mighty can bleed, and now every shark in the AFC waters smells it. That's why this offseason isn't just pivotal for 2025, it's foundational for the next decade. You don't want to look back one day and say, that's where the decline began. Who wants to say that's where we dug deep and built a dynasty? Now, let me paint a picture, and I want you to really hear this, because this ain't just about football. It's about legacy. This is how the Kansas City Chiefs write the next chapter in their NFL epic. And right now, that pen is shaking in their hand. People love to talk about the glory, the rings, the MVPs, the sidearm lasers, and no-look touchdowns. But what they don't talk about is the grind beneath the spotlight, the mental fatigue, the weight of that crown. Every single team circles the Chiefs on the calendar, not to compete, to dismantle, to dethrone. And if Kansas City shows up to 2025 underarmed, underprepared, and overconfident, they're going to get humbled fast. Let's talk mindset, culture, leadership. Andy Reid, genius. No debate. But even legends get comfortable. Even masterminds can flinch when the moment demands boldness, and the Chiefs have leaned into a kind of quiet arrogance these last few years. The belief that they can win without splashes, without big names, without risk. That might have worked when Tyreek Hill was scorching secondaries, when Travis Kelce was an unsolvable riddle, when the offensive line gave Mahomes enough time to check his emails in the pocket. But that cushion, it's gone. Hill is history. Kelce's aging. The O-line is shaky. That margin for error, it's razor thin. The Chiefs can't just out-scheme teams anymore. They have to outfight them, outpace them, outgun them, and that means bringing dogs to the yard. Let's go back to the receiving core. Rashee Rice, suspended, likely out for a big chunk of the season. Kadarius Toney, electrifying, but as dependable as a busted compass. Sky Moore, still in development, not exactly terrifying defenses. Outside of Kels, who's your go-to? Who's stretching the field? Who's bailing Mahomes out on 3rd and long? Who's the red zone assassin? Right now, nobody. unless you bring in somebody. And that's where Gabe Davis and Keenan Allen go from nice additions to mission-critical assets. Gabe Davis gives you vertical explosion. He stretches the defense and opens up lanes for Kelce and your backs. Keenan Allen gives you elite route running, veteran IQ, and clutch catches when Mahomes needs someone who won't fold. These aren't luxuries, they're lifelines. Ignore that and your margin for error vanishes. Now, let's address the massive elephant in the room, Travis Kelce. We love him, we honor him. He's a living legend, a first ballot Hall of Famer in pads, but we can't pretend Father Time doesn't keep receipts. He's 35, he's endured punishment every single season. He's still producing, sure, still breaking ankles, yes, but how much longer? How long until that knee doesn't bounce back, until the birth fades, until the body finally whispers, enough? You don't prepare for that after it happens. You build your backup plan before the fire starts. You don't wait for the collapse to install reinforcements, because if Kelce goes down and you haven't fortified this offense, you're toast. That's the reality nobody wants to say out loud. And the defense? You thought I forgot? Not a chance. Sure, the unit has been solid. Chris Jones, a monster. Spagnuolo, a mad scientist with the blitz packages. But take away one or two key pieces, and suddenly you're gasping. You're asking your offense to hang 35 just to survive. And with your current offensive weaponry? That's a dangerous gamble. Bottom line, this offseason is not about tweaking, it's about taking over. Go bold, stack weapons, fix weaknesses. Honor Kelce with a team that can ride out with him, not lean on him like a crutch, because this is legacy defining. And if the Chiefs don't act now, they won't just fall behind, they'll watch history move on without them. Nick Bolton just shook the entire NFL. And not because of the price tag, but the loyalty. While most players chase every last dollar, Nick Bolton did the unthinkable. He took less to stay in Kansas City, not because he had to, but because he wanted to. That's not just rare, that's historic. In a league where average linebackers are raking in millions, Bolton chose legacy over luxury, sacrificing a massive payday to keep the Chiefs dynasty alive. And today, we're breaking down why this deal could go down as one of the smartest moves of the entire Patrick Mahomes era. Did Bolton do the right thing staying for less, or did he deserve more? Let your voice be heard. Subscribe if you're new. This channel delivers daily Chiefs content, inside scoops, player breakdowns, rumors, and the kind of passion only true fans bleed. Now let's dive into the deal that may have just anchored our defense for years to come, the situation. Kansas City was in a tough spot, limited cap space, key contracts looming, and the pressure to preserve the core of a Super Bowl caliber squad. First, Brett Veach made a sharp move, tagging Trey Smith. A foundational piece, a must-keep. But the real masterpiece came next. Nick Bolton, 3 years, $45 million, 0 cents. That's $30 million, 0 cents guaranteed, an average of $15 million, 0 cents a year, below market value for someone of his caliber. Let's put that into context. Zach Bond to Philly, $17, 0 cents M per year. Jaman Sherwood to the Jets, $15, 0 cents M per year, with less impact. Robert Spillane to New England, $11, 0 cents M annually. Andrew Van Ginkel to the Vikings, 1 year, $23, 0 cents M guaranteed. None of them match Bolton's production. None of them bring his leadership, yet they're getting more money. This, my friends, is where Veach turned cap limitations into championship leverage. Why Bolton did it? Because he's not just thinking dollars. He's thinking dynasty. He wants more rings. He believes in this locker room. He knows that easing the cap means keeping the engine running. That's not just football IQ. That's culture. Brett Veach's masterstroke. This wasn't just a good signing. It was a franchise-defining moment. Double re-signing. Trey Smith, Nick Bolton, both young, both fierce competitors, both with team-friendly deals that don't break the roster. This is Veach's play of the year, Bolton's message. In his interview with KMBC, Bolton didn't flex. He didn't complain. He said he's locked in on getting 1% better every day, and his goal? Lead the NFL in tackles this season. That's the kind of mindset that wins championships. The symbolism. Peter Schrager of ESPN said it best. It would be unthinkable to see the Chiefs without Bolton. He's not just a linebacker. He's the heartbeat of this defense. His contract is more than ink and paper. It's a message. When a guy like Bolton takes less for the team, it sends shockwaves through the locker room. We're here to win together. That's how dynasties are built. The numbers don't lie. Since entering the league in 2021, leading tackler in 3 of 4 seasons, 180 tackles in 2022, elite territory. Even in 2023, despite injuries, 106 tackles, 11 TFLs, 1 INT, and when he came back, he didn't ease in. He came back hungry. Room to grow, let's be honest. He's not flawless. His coverage still needs tightening. QBs had a 104.7 rating against him in 2023. He gave up 2 touchdowns. But that's the challenge Bolton is embracing. And if his work ethic is any indication, those numbers won't stay there for long. Thank you guys. See you next video.